And
hello. Hello and welcome to a Gypsy Kiss. It's Humpday Hoedown. I'm the magical treasure princess, life coach to the rich and famous, and friend of Jamal, Shelley Carney. Woo.
you know, I really miss having you here in the studio. You're just too much fun. My name is Toby Younis. I'm administrative assistant to the MTP and her chief of security. We have a good show planned. No. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. We have a great show planned for you tonight. We do not have any emails, interestingly enough. I'm not sure why they didn't have time to write us some emails. We do have some text messages that we want to deal with. We want to show you the survey. We want to talk about movie night. We've got a beautiful giveaway tonight. You know, another one of the Santa Coronas. So we have a good night planned for you tonight. Join us. We'll have fun one way or the other. Any last words there, MTP? No? Okay, I'm putting the music back on. Humpday, indeed, Humpday, isn't it?
Humpday.
Day. It is indeed. So, you ready for this, MTP? Are you eating something? Did you take some? Do you have some popcorn? Is that what that is? All right. I'll wait you to chew popcorn. Well, you're chewing popcorn. I will. Whoops. Let me get my notes here. Wrong day. Okay. So let me do a little bit of.
Housekeeping, you want towel?
Because you know, towels, especially at this time, are important, but make sure you put them through a wash every other day. Otherwise, they just cover themselves in the pandemic virus.
They just run out at night and grab the virus and bring it home with them.
Remember, before you leave tonight, like this video. YouTube likes it when you like our videos. The Magical Treasure Princess loves it when you like our videos. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, and the entirety of your social network, especially in these times where people look for things to do so that we can
Grow the channel.
And if you're not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal time to bang down on that subscribe button.
Ooga.
And once you see the notifications bell that's associated with that subscribe button, ring the notifications bell so that whenever we start a live stream, you'll be immediately informed, and
in the know.
Because there's nothing better in life than being in the know. I do have a couple of other things that I want to cover before we get started with the show, and that is, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Go to my email account, because I didn't check it earlier this afternoon. Do you remember my password?
Mm-hmm.
And check and see if there's any email messages for AGK. I forgot to check. I'm sorry.
I'll try. Hopefully
right.
it won't kill my computer.
Oh, God, we don't want to do... You know what? That's almost... Maybe we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do that.
All right, let's not do it. We'll just go without him tonight. The first thing that I want to mention is we're doing a giveaway tonight. It's a giveaway. If you want to see a better picture of it, you can look at our community page of Santa Corona. It is a dye sublimation print of an original retablo painted by my daughter, Sean Wells, who's a fifth-generation Spanish colonial artist. Living and working here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She signed it down here with her name. I've matted it and mounted it in this frame, and we're going to give that away tonight. If you want to qualify for that giveaway, go to last Wednesday's video and make a comment, because we're going to draw the winner from the list of people who make comments. You only have to make one. It discounts duplicates. The tool, commentpicker.com. So we'll give away one of those, and this is a wonderful time to have this image in your house. I have the original piece that I bought from them because the original work, let me show you that. Let me share that with you. Because the original work that was done by my daughter and then framed by my son is just amazing. So let me share that with you, because it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. But done by my talented children. I'm going to screenshot this. So that's the one that that Sean did, the original one on retablo, and then my son Jason, and you guys know Jason. You've never met Sean. We're actually going to be interviewing her on Sales Leaders Institute on Friday, so you'll get to meet her. She's my oldest daughter. So Jason did the tin work frame, and I didn't want to let that get out of the family, so I bought the first one from them, and that's where these prints were made. Along with a print, you're going to get a little one sheet that comes with it where Sean explains the provenance of this particular saint and her story and what she's known for. One of the things that she's known for is she's the patron saint of treasure hunters, in addition to being prayed to help with epidemics, because she comes from that part of Italy that was hardest hit by the current pandemic. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to share with you is movie night, and I'm going to go to our live dashboard. So I'm just going to share this.
Bring your own popcorn.
Bring your own popcorn to movie night. So what I've done here is movie night is in the description box below, but I'm also going to post that right now into the chat room so that you can get it there. The movie that we're going to do this Saturday night is A River Runs Through It. So join us. Bring your own. It's BYOP. Bring your own popcorn. And then the other thing that I would like you to take advantage of is we still have our AGK 2020 survey running. You can only fill it out once. You can go back and edit it. Chat is closed. What the hell is that? Tells me chat
I still see it.
I can see it too. Okay, that is totally weird. It's telling me, hang on. I'm going to have to open my chat window again. Yeah, that was the original chat room. Let me just open it up again.
Oh.
Pop out the chat.
First go round.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's try this again. So, number 1, I'm going to give you the 2020... No, the movie night, link to movie night. You have to sign up for movie night with your email address, because movie night, we send...
You only sign up once.
But you only have to sign up once, yeah.
You'll
once
get invited every time, and you don't have to be there just because you're invited. But
right. So it was closed for me. It's okay now. Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me, Sassy. So there's the movie night link. You don't have to enter that information more than once, just one time, and we'll send you an invitation. And if you don't want to join that night, you don't have to. But this Saturday night, we'll be showing A River Runs Through It, because it's kind of a fishing movie, but it has a lot of interesting side angles to it. I'm sure it'll make some of you cry. You know who I'm talking about. And then the second thing I would like you to do, if you haven't already, is go complete the AGK 2020 Searcher Survey. I'm putting the link in the chat room, and you'll also find it in the description box below, because that's going to tell us about what this search season is going to be like, okay? So please, if you haven't already, take the survey. And then the last thing that I'm going to share with you is if you're not a winner tonight of the Santa Corona, my daughter has an Etsy store, and you can go to that Etsy store. I'm going to post that link as well. And you can buy whatever version of the Santa Corona that you want for yourself, okay? She has it listed in there. Let me see what it looks like. I've never been to her Etsy store.
Oh, I don't think you need to say never.
No. Yeah, actually, I have been. That's not quite true. So that's her Etsy store right there. So it has the different, you can select the 16 by 20 canvas, giclée, the collaged wood, the signed print, etc., etc. So you can have an original work from her if you don't like our little 4 by 6 die sublimation print. And like I said, I did send some to some friends, and I gave one to, of course, the Magical Treasure Princess that she has sitting back there in behind her desk. But I still have like 4 or 5 left. So we'll be giving them away for the next several weeks. I do want to remind you that we do cover the coronavirus on our Monday night show at 7 p.m. at COVID Conversations or YouTube. And I'm going to go there and I'm going to post that link in here as well. So Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you're interested, our guest is always Dr. Coffee Brown. Yes, that's his real name.
I think you can stop saying that now.
I don't know. Everybody, you got to be people.
You're the only one that thinks it's weird.
Okay,
everybody else is like, yeah, so what?
So Coffee is a very informed doctor of medicine in the field of emergency medical systems. And he teaches at the University of New Mexico Medical Center. But he is very, very smart about these matters because he has to teach these matters to his students. And he answers all your questions on Monday nights. So you can text your questions to 202-815-1171. You can email your questions to covidconversations@gmail.com. Let me show you the screen so you can see it real quick. So that's covidconversations@gmail.com. And as I said, you can text them to 202-815-1171, and he answers all your questions. So, and he's very patient. There are questions that I probably wouldn't answer without being snarky, but he answers them in their entirety. He's very, very patient with the questions. So if you want to reach out to us, the best way to reach out to us is do what J.K. Pioneer has done in the chat room. He highlighted our name. You can't see it, but we can, with an @ A Gypsy's Kiss. So that we can see it in the chat room. You can also, as of this moment, send a text message to 202-815-1171. That number is below Shelley and I on the lower third. And then you can also call that number right now because the phone lines are closed, and you can leave a voicemail there. But later on, we'll open up those phone lines. You can call in, and we'll just chat our little night away. Shelley looks annoyed. Are you looking annoyed there, Shell? The MTP is never annoyed. No, she doesn't. I don't think I think that's just.
Just waiting for my turn to talk.
Yeah, just waiting. And it's your turn to talk. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So there's a message in the chat room from Charles Chapman. He says we're having a special Easter egg hunt over at Forest Bend's Treasure Galore. Contest ends Easter. That's this coming Sunday.
Oh, cool. Wow, that's neat. What a good idea. Kind of virtual Easter egg hunt. We're doing virtual too. All our interviews on Sales Leaders Institute, COVID Conversations, are all virtual. And Shelley and I are using Sundays to communicate with our families via Zoom. So it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun kind of re-engaging with everybody and keeping things together and keeping spirits up. I think that's an important part of what needs to be done through this period. We just had a great interview with Francis Fernandez de Castro, who happens to be my youngest daughter's boyfriend and partner. And he worked for Marriott, and they just furloughed him this last week. So he was employed up until this last week, and they just furloughed him. So we talked about what he's doing to keep his spirits up. He's a very positive person anyway. But what he's doing to keep his spirits up and looking for jobs, et cetera, et cetera. He strongly recommended that everybody that is without a job to apply for the unemployment benefit. He said it was really hard for him because he had never done that before, and there was kind of a stigma associated with it. But he took advantage of it and applied for it. And he said it's a long application process. So, but you can do it all online in the various states. So he recommended that, and he's looking for other opportunities. He's going to wait Marriott out because he likes working. Marriott's a great corporation. For any of you that live in the Washington metropolitan area, you know that's where their corporate headquarters are, and they have a really good reputation in terms of as an employer. And so he wants to stay with them, but that is not preventing him from looking for other opportunities, and he may find one. Toby Renee has the benefit of being able to work from home. During this period, she works for a high-tech company where she can stay in contact with all her clients via virtual means, Zoom and Skype and the tools. She said they use Teams, right, which is the Microsoft product. But they're both being very active, very upbeat. They're very confident that we're going to make it through this period, and they're making plans for how it's going to be different for them in their business lives afterwards. You were going to say you were going to say something else. I interrupted you.
Oh, I was just going to let you know that if you haven't checked it out yet, on Monday I released an important words video, another one, and this is on the word walk, as in too far to walk. So make sure you check that out.
And what are you doing on the softer side? As long as we're on the topic of what else.
On the softer side, every morning, I'm going back to the 11 o'clock hour. 11 o'clock every morning, I do a live stream where I'll be discussing my daily journal and having conversations with whoever shows up live.
Oh, good. They are good conversations. I like watching them. They're a way to raise your spirits every morning. So, if you're on the West Coast, so if you're on our time zone, it's a good way. I was doing yard work this morning, so I kind of missed it. But I've watched the others. Others are a lot of fun to go through. I'm going to turn my volume up here just a little bit because it looks like I'm a little low. So we decided, you know what? I'm going to go look for emails real quick just in case, guys, because I made the mistake of not looking for them before this, and we need that account right there, and just to see if there's anything interesting.
Also, in the member vault, last week we gave away the Thrill of the Chase, and we gave away a Santa Corona print to our members. We had a drawing. Last night we had a really good discussion about diving back into the Thrill of the Chase and figuring out what's the best way to pull the hints out of the text, and should we be studying the photographs that seem to be photoshopped, or should we be studying the illustrations, the additional poems? And Toby and I are coming to some conclusions. We'll be giving our recommendations and starting that tomorrow. So now is an excellent time to join the member vault if you're at all interested, because we are once again diving back into the Thrill of the Chase and looking for those hints within the text. We're not going to read each chapter individually. We've already done that, and if you're interested in that, we have all of those videos recorded and up in the member vault, so you can go through anything that you are interested in once you're a member.
We went through every one of the chapters in the Thrill of the Chase, had the conversation, recorded the conversation, and that's of course available to any members. But I think we had some emails from our members over the last week who felt like they wouldn't benefit as much from a similar review of Too Far to Walk as they would from taking another shot at the Thrill of the Chase in other ways. And so last night, as Shelley said, the conversation was mostly about what other way. We took a vote first to get everybody, to make sure that everybody agreed with it, and it was a super majority that agreed with it, and that's what we went with. But I was really surprised at the number of other ways that people wanted to look at the book, and of course it ranged from the traditional let's look at the illustrations to find the aberrations, et cetera, et cetera. So again, as Shelley said, we're working on a plan. We're going to present it to them tomorrow. and we'll go forward with that. So it's yet another way to look at the thrill of the chase. If you haven't done that before, this would be the ideal time to join the member vault.
That's right. And you can just go to gypsyskiss.com and look for more information there.
So very fortunate, we missed Deborah Hallen's town hall on the coronavirus. That's too bad. Let's see. No emails regarding Gypsy's Kiss. That's actually good news. Well, good.
They didn't go to, oh.
They all went to Toby Younis. I mean, they're all going to Toby Younis now. I'm just going to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, we're okay in terms of emails. So we're not even doing emails tonight. We can go to...
Wow.
What, you know what? This is normally where we'd go to the room. So why don't we do that? And
Ding.
ba-ding. We do have... Go ahead.
It's a super chat from Mel Rustad. Greetings to all of the shut-ins. It will end. We don't know when, but it will.
So Shelley and I are recording a video over on Sales Leaders Institute that deals with what salespeople should be doing to maintain their level of performance in their companies. Because not only are they working at home, but their customers are working at home. There are places, of course, that we're recommending that you don't sell in. If your customer happens to be in a healthcare community right now, leave them alone. They've got enough to think about. But there's lots of other opportunities for selling, and lots of opportunities for communicating. And so we're cutting a video on basically what I don't want to call it the top 10 tips for salespeople selling through the pandemic, but that's what it's going to be. And we'll let you know when that's out because there might be some benefit to you as well. We do want to say thank you to our subscribers. We made 6,500 subscribers this last week. So
Yay.
Thanks for that. Thanks for continuing to follow us. And yeah, that deserves a bell. Thanks for joining us on these shows. And
kids are going to wake up and go, what
was that?
It's dinner time.
Okay, so I'm going to, why don't you go ahead with the chat room, and then I'll pick up with the text messages.
All right. In the chat room tonight, we have Christy K. Pro, one of our mods. We have Swami, Monty618, JK Pioneer, Journeyman, 23 Monarcha, Raz Taz, Because I Can, Kiwis Road, William Sparks, Tony Russi. Tech note to Toby, you sounded fine to us. Well, that's good. Bugs Bunny, Mr. T, Holy's here with her blue wrench. Let's see, we have 500 pieces, John Miller, the Sassy, one of our other mods, William Sparks, Larry Smith, heading to the mountains 1st of May, regardless of lockdowns. Well,
who says that?
Larry Smith.
Well, Larry, just make sure you're not sick, and make sure if you are sick, you don't make anybody else sick. I think that's the worry. We can't.
It's working really hard to stay home and be
Pardon
safe.
Me. Yeah, yeah.
Tony Russi, Debbie Teal, Bubbert, Calabrado, another one of our blue wrenchers, Tony Henman.
So Tony Russi asks, I hesitate to ask, have we lost anyone to CV-19 in the Fenn community? To the best of my knowledge, I don't believe I've heard of anyone that we've lost. There have been losses, and there will continue to be, but I haven't heard anyone specifically from the Fenn community. If anybody else has, we'd be interested to hear it.
Sassafras, Corey J. We have Gallatin Ghost, Wrenches Galore, Sheets Trove, LR, Captain Marvel, Any Outie. Are those handcuffs? The La Corona. The Saint Corona, La Llorona. Saint Corona is pictured tied to loosely to palm trees. So they're not handcuffs, but she's tied.
She's tied to the palm trees, and the story about why that is all there in her iconography is included with that page that I told you I'd send with the image.
Davio's here. Sassy, I think it's that. Terry McKernan, hello. Charles Chapman, Jen Smith, Doug Carver. Don't see any questions. Tony Hunman, Rudy Green, Treasure Hunter. He says, just finished the survey. It's short and easy.
Thank you, Rudy. We appreciate that. It is short and easy. It's just doesn't require any personal information, just kind of your thoughts on the matter of where we're going with all this.
Roy Call, Swami. $500 pieces. Lamb Ron. Among the notices in my YouTube, something as large as the Earth has crashed into Uranus.
Wow. I don't think it was mine, but
I think it was
something as large as the Earth has crashed into Uranus. God, okay, keep going. I'm looking that one up.
Where in Blazes? Heavy Loads. Dave Headbloom. Blaze Looker. Bugs Bunny has finished the survey. Good job. Alone in the Air.
I just looked up at the news on Uranus. It doesn't. It doesn't show any news there. So maybe it's just a thing.
Maybe it was a joke.
Yeah.
Little jokey joke. Bertha the Chacon. Do you know Bertha?
Birdie. That's Birdie Chacon, the one that won the bracelet at the World Series of Fenn, and who traded the bracelet with, who was that?
Well, I don't need the whole iconic.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see, we have MJ Inzer, LR. Long way to Tipperary.
It's a long way to Tipperary.
That's right. Way to go. Mel Rustat. Handy Moot Man. Things that are moot.
So Wyoming is one of the states that is fining people for travel that is unnecessary. So just be careful. I'm going to show you, as soon as Shelley's done, I'm going to show you a tool you can use to figure out where this all is.
Roger Garcia. Okie Tarman. Chasing Indy. Evan Hartman. Ronnie Lee. I don't want to aggravate anybody by crowing, so we'll let the rooster do it. Williams here, Debbie Teal, John Fokker, Ronnie Lee, Joey Perro. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Joey. I had a conversation with Joey last night about using Zoom to promote a movie that's being released in which he has starred.
Very nice. Is he playing the trumpet or is?
No. He was an acting role. It has to do with World War II veterans.
I'm not sure. Sassy says, on Sunday, very suddenly, she was only slightly sick for 2 days. I'm not sure who she's talking about.
Well, you know what? I hope it was the coronavirus and you survived it and you now carry the antibodies. What?
Oh, no. Further up, she said she lost her perfectly healthy stepmother. Her stepmother passed.
To the coronavirus? Yeah. One of the reports that I was listening to the other night said that this virus is serious about attacking the older generation. If you're over 60 and you get it, it will find a way to, well, they said kill you.
Stay
but
home, save lives.
Yeah, stay home, save lives. That's what I'm doing.
Me too. Tony Hendon and the House Husband Diaries are here. Chasing Indy. I'll maybe sing some of these twice because I
Yeah.
can't. Stay-at-home orders hopefully will be lifted after June. Let's see. Maverick 1. The more we stay home now, the more likely it is we'll get out sooner.
So, Hush Whisper, a couple of things. 1 to 2 times the size of Earth would make it massive because, first of all, Uranus is smaller than Earth. And secondly, Uranus is one of the gas planets.
Wipe it out.
So, yeah, there's if you can share a citation with me, I'd be danged, I said, YouTube, interested, because I just don't, that just doesn't make scientific sense to me. Earth is bigger than Uranus, and if it was 2 times the size of Earth crashing into Uranus, it would be even bigger. Gypsy's Kiss, did you get my email about the video I need from you about the virus? No, I didn't, K-Pro. Let me take a look.
Paul Andrus says, where can I find a link to the video Dr. Fenn recommended about the chase that Toby liked? Oh, Smell the Sunshine is the name of the channel. And pretty much any video on there you'll probably enjoy, but we were specifically talking about the one called Important Literature.
Yes.
Smell the Sunshine channel.
Smell the Sunshine. So hang on, K-Pro. Let me go back to my email and see where that went. Let's see. That's hold on. I gotta go back here. Are you done? Or are you being quiet?
Mungo Jerry. Captain Marvel. Hush Whisper. Hush Whisper says something crashed into Uranus about 2 days ago.
He's the person I asked the question of. Since said it was 2 times the size of Earth, Uranus is smaller than Earth. So if it was 2 times the size of Earth, something, not Earth, but 2 times the size of Earth, it would have wiped it out completely. Uranus wouldn't exist any longer. But we won't know for a couple of days because of the speed of light and how far away it is from us.
Oh, heavy loads makes a really good point.
What's that?
North Korea recommended their people not drink alcohol because it depresses the immune system. Our country, on the other hand, delivers alcohol. And
now you
alcohol
tell me.
sales have gone
I
up.
didn't think I was going to need a drink tonight, but after that first little faux pas, I poured myself one.
Jeff Anschultz is here.
Yay! It's Anschutz. There is no L in his.
Oh, sorry. I get that wrong.
He's going to make a point of
That's
that now.
real.
Okay,
I'm not
Pro.
usually like that. I don't usually add extra letters into people's names like that.
K-Pro, I'm going to see if it went into spam. I don't have your email, K-Pro.
Paul Gibson.
So please feel free to resend it. I don't have it, and it's not in spam, so.
Everybody says Uranus is larger than Earth by a lot.
Really?
Including Milan Fenn.
Yeah.
2 trips. Uranus is the 3rd largest planet in the solar system and has a diameter of 31,765 miles or 51,118 kilometers, which is about 4 times the diameter of Earth.
I stand corrected.
Everybody says you're wrong.
Planet solar system diameter 31,000.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Earth, Uranus says volume.
And the actual information.
Okay, so I'll make my point again. If it's 31,765 miles in diameter, and Earth is 1/4 the size of that, and the object was 2 times the size of Earth, that means that an object that had a diameter of approximately, let's see, that would be 8. So an object with a diameter of approximately 16,000 miles struck a planet with a diameter of 31,000 miles. That still sounds like a big mess to me. It may not be bigger, but 2 times the size of Earth.
Forrest a doctor of piloting aircraft?
Forrest is not. Forrest is not a doctor
if you got
anything.
a degree for being a pilot and going through combat.
Then he has a doctorate. Yeah, he has a doctorate. He's not a degreed doctor. We just sometimes call him Dr. Fenn.
Yeah. We have J. Burke, MS Internet. I don't know what that is. But it's an interesting name. The Thrill. So when you leave the room, do the people say, the thrill is gone?
Nice. You're being funny.
Don't read that email on air, says K-Pro. She resent it to you.
Okay, I won't. Not if you always start putting the subject line, please don't read the email on the air.
DEA 3.
I do that. Drug Enforcement Administration.
The third.
The third.
Brave Blaze. I haven't seen that one. John Wayne Bobbitt is in the house. Oh.
Actually,
John
I'm a
Wayne,
third. I'm a
your name
third.
Brave Blaze?
I'm a third, too.
Brave Blaze is John Bobbitt, apparently.
Oh, didn't know that.
Now we know. Joe Sharon. Ronnie Lee.
Oh, it did go. K-Pro, it did go to spam. How unfortunate is that? Let me move it over here to inbox. Why would it do that?
Probably because she's like AOL. It's like, no, nobody uses AOL. That's spam.
It's spam. Okay. All right, I did get it, and I'll look at it after the show. Thank you, K-Pro. Thank you for resending it.
All right, Sea Dog, and I'm at the bottom. So we can move on to texts and voicemails and such as that. Are you ready?
Hang on. Let's see. So everybody's sending me their anus. I mean, the article on Uranus.
Oh, boy. First it's feet,
see.
and now it's this.
What smacked your Uranus on its side? Something icy and massive as Earth. So it wasn't twice the size. This happened, guys. This happened literally millions of years ago. This was not recently.
They said it was 2 days ago.
No, it says the impact that knocked Uranus on its side long ago isn't quite so mysterious anymore. It's tipped more than 90 degrees, 27 known moons, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was the
this
early
is how things happen.
part of the... And there's
spewed and blown up and twisted. And
there's even a video of the event.
Video?
I mean,
millions of years ago? Was somebody doing video?
No. It's what do you call it? CGI. Yeah, that didn't happen day before yesterday, guys. That was at the beginning of the universe, not the beginning of the universe, the beginning of the solar system. And the solar system is what? 3 billion years old?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
How many candles were on its cake last year?
It was a lot of candles.
Besides,
a lot of candles.
The year is different every planet you're on.
Okay, so I want to share my screen again. And I'm going to show you a website. I'm going to show you this website. And the reason I'm going to show you this website is it gives you information about when the United States is going to be off the curve, but more importantly, it shows you information about when each of the states is going to be off the curve. So this is the United States, right? This is, you can see up here, it says United States of America. And this is the curve. It says we're going to peak around April 11th. Then we're going to hit the peak. And then we're going to go off the curve. Let me see when the numbers change significantly. We'll be completely off the curve on June 13th. But what you can do here is you can drop down to a state in which you may have interest. Let's use Wyoming, for example. And you can go to Wyoming and click on it. And the curve changes. And you can see the Wyoming is less dramatic to begin with. It's going to be way under its capacity, so it's not a problem. They'll peak around April 29th, which is later than the rest of the U.S. And they'll fall off the curve.
The curb?
I didn't say curb. I said curve. But
fall off the curb.
They'll fall off the curve.
Because they're drunk.
They'll fall off the curve on May 17th. Right. So May 17th for Wyoming. Are you done over there?
I'll crack myself.
Amy Schumer. Okay, so they will fall off the curve due to alcoholism on May 13th. And then let's see what New Mexico is. New Mexico is, when is it going to fall? We got a different curve. We're going to peak on April 27th, and we'll be off the curb around, let's say,
supposed to say curve, not curb.
We're going to be off the curb around May 15th. So we've always recommended that you don't head into the mountains of New Mexico any earlier than the end of April. So this could work out. It might not affect the search season as much as we thought, assuming everybody's off the curve and you are healthy. So I put that link in the chat room. So if you guys want to check it out for yourself, you can go there. All right.
And hello to Stacy Harwood.
Why does that sound familiar? Why does Stacy Harwood sound familiar?
Somebody in our chat room.
No, that sounds familiar for another reason.
So I said hello.
All right. I'm going to... You keep an eye on the chat room. I will read some text messages, okay? This one is from John Miller. Ooh, nice long one. Not familiar enough with the lay of the land in the Rockies and relatively new to trying to develop a solve. I have an active imagination, though, so I have a few questions about Forrest to those who may know more about him than I do. So please feel free. Hang on. Please feel free to answer these questions in the chat room, okay? Let's see. Forrest recommends June 1st, so that doesn't tell him. Yeah, if I had a choice between doing what Forrest suggests in this matter versus what the IHME website does in this matter, I'm probably going to go with the IHME website. I don't think it tells me anything about where the treasure. It certainly doesn't help me get closer to the treasure. So please feel free to answer these questions. I have a few questions about Forrest to those who may know more about him than I do. With hints like rainbow and horseshoe, could those hint of the area? Well, that falls into the category of anything is possible. So yes, if it works with your theory, then yes, it hints to the area.
We got a cha-ching.
Do it.
This is from Jeff Anschutz. Uranus, thank you. I'll be here all week. Or Uranus, I'm not sure.
Would Forrest make a play on his name as I go in alone? Could it be in an area of Forest Canyon near Fern Lake or Creek? Is that area a place an 80-year-old could maneuver? Well, let's answer the first one. Not in my opinion. I don't think he would actually choose a place that is somehow related to his name. And so the second question, is that an area or place an 80-year-old could maneuver? I don't know, because I don't know the area, if that's what you found. The area of Forest Fern, an area that seems to be at 8,200 to 8,750 feet in elevation. I've never heard of Forest Fern, honestly, so I can't tell you. Where warm waters halt, can the answer to that riddle be in the fall when the temperatures of the water gets colder? Fall River. That again, I'm going to say that falls into the category of it. If it works for your theory, then let it work for your theory. Below the home of Brown equal Beaver Mountain, perfectly reasonable. We've looked at Beaver as the Brown thing. I know these things have likely been considered in past years. No, that's the first time I've ever heard the Forest Fern thing. And I know this would make it a potential Colorado solve, which is into popular consideration. It's all up to you. There's a lot of people, although based on our survey, not as many people believe it's in Colorado as they do the other states. Could you share your thoughts on the potential of this area, the Forest Fern area, as I refer to it?
Hi, Rob. Please help yourself to asking whatever you like.
Pardon me?
Ra asked
okay.
if they could ask something.
So the bottom line on that kind of question, John, is that your spot is as the treasure can be in your spot as likely as it is in any other spot. And the reason I say that is we've been at this for 10 years, and nobody, to the best of my, how's that word, to the best of my uncertain knowledge, actually knows where any of this starts, much less where it ends. So your theories are just as good as anybody else's. They'll get better when you actually get out, boots on the ground, and determine whether or not there's any reality to them. This is from 405. May in Oklahoma. Please remember that if you're sending a text message, that you do so and add your name and the state from which you are texting, just so I can say hello. This question from May in Oklahoma. Do you know if Expeditions Unknown episode has been done about the Forest Fenn treasure? We are anxious to make our annual trek to both New Mexico and Colorado. Hope it's sooner than later. Yes, an episode on the Forest Fenn treasure was made by Josh Gates and Expeditions Unknown in the 4th season. I don't specifically remember which episode in the 4th season it was, but it wasn't very helpful. It was actually kind of unrealistic, honestly. But he did talk about he introduced three families, 3 search families, although there was Katya, and then there was a couple, and then there was a search family. But you can watch it, and I would strongly recommend you watch it for entertainment only. You're not going to find anything in that episode that will help you get closer to the treasure, in my humble opinion. Silent Film says, over here north of Philadelphia next to New Jersey, not a good place to be now. Best to all in the room during these trying times. Indeed, better to stay inside if you happen to live in that area. Kiwis Road, what do you think?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Fyra has a question. Fyra, in the future, make sure you start with the @ sign at Gypsy Kiss so we don't miss it. But Fyra says, if you have to be certain where warm waters halt, would you agree if a place that is certified cold would suit?
I think warm waters halt has 2 requirements. Number 1, you have to be certain, and number 2, it has to be precise. So if the point on the surface of the map represents or can be met by those 2 conditions, then yes, I don't see why not. Kiwis Road says, what do you think connects forest to your search area, or at least to your search state? Oh, wow. So maybe you guys can answer on the phone. What connects forest to my search area to my search state? Well, number 1, my search area is in New Mexico. Forrest has lived in New Mexico since 1972. He spent more time in New Mexico than he has in any other location. He likes New Mexico. He especially likes Santa Fe. He has said that he wanted to give back to New Mexico. This would be one way to do it, because if nothing else, it certainly has increased our tourism revenue as people come into the state to look for it. In addition to that, he claims in his book that he hid the treasure in the mountains, somewhere in the mountains north of Santa Fe. And so what I tell people is, if I were to tell you that I was going to kidnap your cat and I was going to hold your cat for ransom, and I sent you a message saying your cat is somewhere in the mountains north of Santa Fe, would you go looking for your cat in Wyoming? In addition to that, you know that I believe that warm waters is represented both precisely and on a map by the New Mexico State Game and Fish regulations, or the fishing rules, and that Forrest is a lifelong fisherman, and so would know at least as good as any other fisherman in New Mexico the state of those rules. And the state of New Mexico is the only one in its fishing rules that uses the term warm waters. The other 3 states don't use that term. They use warm water species. So there's a lot connecting it to the state, I think. And so that's why we're searching it in New Mexico. Thank you for the question. Let's see. LR from Texas. Wyoming has the least cases and the only state with no deaths. Hoorah. Well, I didn't know that. Let's take a look at Wyoming. I didn't see that one. I looked at Wyoming. I'll do that real quickly here.
B.B. Cooper says, Toby has my cat.
Toby, I do have your cat. So let's see.
Captain Marvel says, did Toby write a book about the cat?
Did Toby write a book about the cat? Would he have written?
About me?
They're projecting.
Why Forrest Fenn is connected to it?
What?
To the search state?
Yeah.
I think it's in New Mexico too.
But what connects Forrest Fenn to your search state?
He lives here.
Good point. It's easy to get to.
Specifically mentioned Santa Fe, and the treasure is located in the mountains somewhere north of Santa Fe. Why I mentioned something so specific?
Yeah, they don't. Wyoming does not have any deaths. They are projecting a total of 67 from through the middle of May. So that's not too bad, actually.
Toby is too rigid in his thinking. Well, I have to say this. Nobody else has the treasure either, so you got to start somewhere.
I don't know necessarily that it's not important to be rigid in your own thinking. Honestly, most of the treasure hunters that I speak to are rigid in their own thinking, and that comes with the territory. You have to come to, it has to result in a theory that works for you. And so I'm willing to bet that if you were to ask any searcher about their theory and why they got to that point, you would probably find them just as rigid in their thinking as well. There is nothing wrong with being rigid until someone finds that treasure. Now, if on the other hand, somebody finds the treasure and they say, I found this treasure as a result of all the analysis I did in the scrapbooks, then, okay, I was wrong. Until that treasure is found, my rigidity is as right as your rigidity. Thank you for that.
Flynn Wynn says, if it's in New Mexico, why did Forrest extend it to all the Rockies? Forrest Fenn discovered the Rockies in 2013 when he started doing the Today Show and giving out hints. And he was writing another book, and then he decided, hey, let's open it up to the whole Rockies. So the first time he mentioned the Rockies was in 2013.
The shortest answer to that question is marketing.
Yeah. We got another cha-ching.
Oh, nice. From whom?
Another one from Jeff Anschutz.
He likes hearing his name, doesn't he? When you pronounce it correctly.
Searcher wants his rooster video. Thinks Hebgen Lake is where warm water halts, so get her done. Wants to have the rooster video.
So we just got, he wants to have the rooster. I can play the rooster video. What the heck?
For $4.99, we'll play the rooster.
Yay, roosters. We believe in roosters. Let's see.
Christy Fiorello is here.
Somebody sent us a link with a video, but I can't play it on my phone.
Sassy corroborates and says Forrest never in all caps, talked about the Rockies the first few years.
Yeah, they didn't come up.
He was part of the chase the first few years. She knows.
Rockies, we have a video, as Shelley said, called Forrest Fenn Discovered the Rocky Mountains in 2013. Prior to that time, they were never mentioned. From Bill Blackwell, South Lake Tahoe, one of my favorite places to visit. In the poem, since Mr. Fenn does not capitalize M in Meek, I don't think he is referring to Meek, the person, or in my opinion, he would have capitalized it. Your thoughts? Agreed. I agree with you.
Yep.
That was an easy one. Why couldn't they all be that easy?
DB Cooper says the book only has 4 chapters dedicated to New Mexico. What was your conclusions about how much each place was mentioned in the Throat of the
Well,
Chest?
I don't. Here's what you'll find out that we did this research. We actually did this research that behind My War for Me, New Mexico has more pages dedicated to it than anything else, including his hometown of Temple, Texas, and Yellowstone. We did that research. It's in one of our videos.
And if you want to get technical, Vietnam is the one mentioned most
Yeah,
often.
that's actually true.
Treasure's
Technically,
not in Vietnam.
right. Okay, I am going to go to. Do I have a voicemails one? I guess I don't. It falls into the text time, doesn't it? All right, let's take a look at the voicemail. See what we got. Ta-ta-ta-ta.
From Verizon Wireless Chinese Voice Department. 这是暂停服务通知，由于您的号码使用出现违规异常，将在今日停止您的通讯服务。如需查询，请按9，由中文客服为您服务。
So
Was she
for a
telling jokes?
no. Actually, that was a quick translation. What she was saying is, "You crazy Americans, we don't like you. We are sending you a virus." So,
Oh, don't start that. We don't need that.
no, we don't. I'm sorry. I don't believe that that she said that. Oh, this is from Barry. Let's see what Barry has
Hey,
to say.
Toby, this is Barry Martin from Florida. I'd like to go to the second part of the solve, if you don't mind. We went over the first part. You said you want to do it part a week, but I didn't hear from you last week. But I'd like to get run the next part on you.
Well, I think we should call Barry and let him run the next.
Well, how about this? If you call Barry, I'm going to go take a break.
Do you need
Otherwise,
to?
I just sit here and do nothing for an hour. So you just.
No, we're only going to give him 10 minutes.
Sure.
I'm only going to give him 10 minutes, I promise. I'll tell you what, if I give him any more than 10 minutes, then you can take off the rest of the show. How's that? You want to do a giveaway real quick? Want to do a giveaway?
Yeah, we should do a giveaway.
All right, let's do a giveaway.
Get the butt drums. Here come the butt drums, everybody.
Giveaway time. From España, no less. I'll tell you what, if he does end up chatty chat, you can take a short break, refresh your popcorn and adult beverage. They're not drinking an adult beverage.
Club soda is an adult beverage.
No, I guess it's kind of adult. All right, so let's go. The giveaway tonight is another dye sublimation print of Santa Corona, along with a one sheet that describes why she's a saint. I do want to mention that she is the patron saint of treasure hunters, in addition to whom the Italians pray to in order to resolve epidemics. She comes from the same area in Italy that was experiencing kind of the hot spot of the pandemic in Italy.
If you don't believe in saints, that's okay. Toby doesn't either, and it's just a nice picture.
Yeah. So I believe in people. I mean, there's a wonderful story that goes along with this. So I know she existed, that she was a person, and that she suffered. It's up to the Catholic Church to depend on saints, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with having however you feel about that. There's nothing wrong with having this beautiful piece of art hanging in your family room, which I think it would be an ideal place for it. Okay, all right.
Or your office.
Or your office. Let's go over to this.
And who knows? It might just protect you.
That's why my daughter was happy that I bought it. She said that it would protect me. So I'll just have to trust that what she believes is true. All right, you have about 30 seconds to go make a comment on last Wednesday's video in order to qualify for this giveaway.
Wednesday was April Fool's.
April Fool's Day.
First.
Yeah. So let's do a screenshot here. That is, when was that? April 8th. Wait a minute. Today is the 8th. Why is that there?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the live stream faux pas. That's why it's already there.
Boo-boo.
Yeah. Let's see. April 1st. There is our April 1st show. And there is our April 1st link. We're going to copy that video link. And we're going to go to, where am I going? Where am I going? What?
CommentPicker.com.
Comment Picker.
Did you receive your butt drums yet?
I haven't. They're ordered from
It's
Spain.
called a cowbell, and here's
It's
a
a cowbell. Okay, YouTube tools. We're going to use the YouTube random comment picker. And we're going to scroll down here. Ugh. Okay, close that. These guys advertised it. Okay, so we're going to enter that link right there. We're going to see how many people have registered to win. There are 46. Nice number of people. We'll start it and see who wins. You can't see any of this anymore, can you?
Me? No,
Yeah,
I
not
can
until
see it
it's
on my
too late.
phone. That's why I'm holding it up.
Craig O'Hare. The winner is
Woohoo!
Craig O'Hare. Is he in the room? Did
Haven't
you
seen
see
him.
his? I didn't see his name earlier, huh?
He hasn't written anything. If he's lurking, we don't know.
Okay.
Craig O'Hare, you are
So,
the winner.
Craig O'Hare, you are the winner. In order for me to
Corona.
ship this to you, Craig, probably a good Irish Catholic, Craig O'Hare, send your shipping address to the number you'll see on the screen right here, 202-815-11701. Craig O'Hare, you're the winner. Send me your shipping address to 202-815-1171. I do want to remind Craig O'Hare that you are the winner and that in order to receive your prize, you have to send your shipping address to 202-815-1171. That's 202.
Now play the You Are a Winner video.
Oh, okay. I'm going to play the You Are a Winner. I forgot that one had butt drums too. He is in the room and he did get the message. So good.
Oh.
We'll be able to ship that out this weekend. John Wayne Bobbitt, we have a voicemail from John Wayne. Let's see what he has to say.
All right.
Hey, Toby, it's John Wayne. Got to go up to Wyoming before Chris and K-Pro and Mike get up there. I think I may have a possible solution to the poem.
What the heck happened to Colorado? Dang nabbit. Got a
You
couple
must
more
have,
text
gotten
messages.
convinced by somebody else.
LR from Texas has the Oh, okay. No, an LR, if Shelley did a show on the word love, in love with Yellowstone.
I haven't yet.
That's not in the poem, right? You're doing the
The
words
word
in the
love?
poem.
I'm right now. I'm focused on words in the poem. Eventually, I'll branch out a little bit.
So I also have a text message from John Wayne. It says, need to go up to Wyoming and check out a new solution. Check out a new solution out before K-Pro and Mike get up there. I think I have a strong possibility of knowing where it is. Don't we all, sir? Don't we all? Candy, I want you to know that I did get your message earlier tonight, but we were just going into our 6 o'clock show, the Sales Leaders Institute. Okay, I think we can open up phones. You ready for this?
Yeah, we go live for 3 hours on Wednesdays and Fridays. 3 hours, pretty much
straight.
I have a short break in between.
Where there is no rest in these households. We're live streaming. We're live streaming
No
or
rest
zooming.
for the.
Wicked.
I'm gonna say we're wicked. We're not wicked.
We're not. You're not wicked.
Rest for the good.
You're not wicked. I can't speak
for
for
the
myself.
princess. No rest for the princess.
All right. Let me see. Did we get any $10 super chats tonight?
None that were 10. We got a couple of
All
fives.
right. Okay.
Jeff Anschutz has given us enough to have added up to 10.
All right. Well, here we go. We'll do that.
Adding all about that. And now we're song. Hey. I don't know if they can hear me.
They can. I can hear you, so they can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. We are going to... So Mel says that the promo video used for text messages uses your old phone number, FYI. Well, that's interesting. Now I got to play it. Dang nabbit. Good point. We need to make that.
Like 3 times.
Thanks. Yeah, it does use the old. It does use the old phone number.
The text one?
Yeah, the text one. Yeah. So you're gonna have to redo that.
I'll have to fix that. Right.
Let's see. Hey, Toby and Shelley, take a look at these definitions. This is from Joey Perro. Take a look at these definitions. Do you remember the chapter "My Father on the Banco"? I do.
Sure.
And Merriam-Webster apparently defines banco, which is funny because banco is a Spanish word. Why is it in Merriam-Webster's English dictionary?
Calabrado says, I have a 10-minute timer for Barry's call. Forrest Fenn also used the word banco in one of the scrapbooks, in the scrapbook where he showed the picture of his shower. He said that's shampoo and conditioner on the banco, which was the shelf of the shower. So using it in his context, it means like a shelf, a big shelf that you can set things on, or in the case of his father sitting on it, it's big enough to be sat on.
Big things on up to including his father, no? No, as they say in Spanish. Okay, hey, Colorado, you keep the watch on. I'm going to call Barry and see what's going on there, all right? Let's see what Barry has to say. We should probably call John Wayne since he called in. Maybe he wants to talk to you. Let's do Barry first. Let's do Barry because he's going to give us the second part of...
Hello.
Hey, Barry, it's Toby. I'm returning your call.
How you doing, man?
I am doing outstanding, considering I am neither outside nor do I have the coronavirus. So I think I'm doing pretty damn well. How about you?
Pretty good, man. I had it back in the beginning of January. So I had it before everybody. Yeah, they didn't even know what it was. So I'm all right. But yeah, everybody around here is okay. Huh?
Can you send me a little bit of your blood so I can extract the plasma and insert the antibodies into protect myself?
Well,
all right. So
Toby, what I want to do is I just want to go through like the second phase and everything, and kind of let everybody hear and use their own judgment.
All right. We have now started the 10-minute clock. Knock yourself out.
All right. The first part we had determined that the Warm Waters halt is at the Yellowstone line. From that, you're looking for the Homeward Brown. Take it to the canyon down, you're looking for the Homeward Brown. The Homeward Brown is Amelia Earhart's house that she was having built. And the reason I say it's that is I read a lot up on this lady when I found out this Kerwin place.
Yeah.
And in her yearbook, this is where a clue goes back to the first verse instead of in the third verse. Amelia Earhart's yearbook tells you, the woman in brown who walked alone. This is in her yearbook. Fenn was associated with all this out here. He was associated with Matitis, which is right before Kerwin here. But this is your put-in spot. From here, you say, put in below the home of the Brown. When you're standing there at her house and you're looking down, there's a little cliff here. You go down probably 40 feet into the river, which is the Wood River. You don't paddle upstream, you go downstream. That's as simple as anything. There'll be no paddle up your creek. You walk downstream. He's not going to make you try to go against all that water upstream. Go downstream. From there, you see the blaze. Look quickly down. There's the hole. You cannot get to this hole without being in the Wood River. When you're at this hole, and you can't see this hole no place else until you get in the river and you're in this river. You cannot get to this hole without being in this river. This is the high tide and heavy loads. You've got to go through high waters in through there. And it can be high altitude waters. The heavy loads, you're fixing to take 40 pounds out of this thing in this rushing water. You better get your stuff together because you've got heavy loads ahead of you to get out of this water. It was bad enough for me to get out of it without the 40 pounds. This is the solve. This is the hole. I can put anything in this poem together for y'all if y'all have any problem with it. But this is the spot. Right there at Amelia Earhart's house, you put in below the home of the Brown. This is the home of the Brown.
Yeah.
You put in, when you put in, you're in the Wood River.
Right.
You go right up. You see the blaze right over the hole.
Yeah.
You look directly down, and here's the hole, dude.
All right.
And you can't see this hole unless you're in the Wood River. And I'm gonna let you go.
Wait.
Everybody saying cut him off at 10 minutes. Well, I don't care to be on here a long time. I want everybody to know that this is the hole, dudes.
All right. Well, I have a question.
Follow this solve down. You follow this solve down, and all y'all will see this. I'm trying to help y'all out.
All right. Thank you. And if you do want to help us out, I have one question before you go.
Yes, sir.
Could you please explain again how you connected Amelia Earhart to the home of Brown? I think I missed that part.
Yes, sir. Well, whenever I was going down in the canyon, not far but too far to walk, then you got to determine, well, how far in the canyon. Well, I talked to the Wyoming State Game and Fish Commission up there. I Googled them and all, and I asked them, where does the trout fishing stop and the game fishing start? And I knew it would be from that point backwards. Well, when I asked them this, they give me Middle Forks, below Middle Forks. Well, from that point, I got to find Middle Forks. When I went to Middle Forks, it took me to Kerwin, which is a gold town, an old gold mine. They mined gold here.
Barry?
Well, this was real interesting. This is what I'm getting to, sir, about Amelia. Well, when I got to Kerwin, it had a thing in there about Amelia Earhart. And I started reading about her from the Kerwin thing. And this is where I realized this is the put-in spot. This is your put-in spot. Well, when I did get to the put-in spot, everything fell right into place. And in there where he tells you you're almost there, you are. And he tells everybody you're 200 to 500 feet from it. And that's according to where you're standing at her house there. You are 200 to 500 feet from it right then. He said people has been within 50 feet of it. All kind of people has been to this spot, but they never got into that water. He said people have been over it. They said people has been over it. That's where they stood on the cliff and looked down there. It's in that cliff. They was actually standing on top of the treasure.
All right. So let me go back. I understand that because now what I'm trying to avoid is us getting repetitive. But so when somebody says, I figured out the home of brown, and I'm just using this as an example, all right?
Yes, sir.
And I say to them, so what is your home of brown? And he says, and they respond, they say to me, it's a bend in the river where brown trout were placed in 1988, where the species was introduced to that river. So there's some relationship between the home of brown and something that has the word brown in it. It could be a brown paint, it could be a brown trout, it could be a brown beaver, it could be a brown bear. What I'm asking you, wait, let me finish, so
okay, I'm sorry.
so you can get the question, because this is one that I want the answer to. What does Amelia Earhart have to do with brown, the home of brown? That's what I don't understand.
Because everybody called her Brown. This was her nickname, like Lou Alcindor or Air Jordan. This was her name. Everybody called her Brown. And she was known as the woman in brown who walked alone. They called her Brown because she wore brown all the time. So her nickname was Brown. Everybody called Amelia Earhart Brown. That's the way everybody associated with brown. And when they put brown in there, when they're talking about brown trout and stuff like this, you're not going to capitalize a B and put it in there.
Right.
This B is capitalized for a person's name.
Okay. All right.
It's capitalized.
I understand now. Thank you for that. I just wasn't sure how you were making that connection, but thank you for taking the time to do that for me. I appreciate it. Well, we've gone through two parts of your theory now. We can come back. Now, are you still at the point where you've concluded that Forrest has retrieved the treasure from this location that that your solution points to?
I believe he still wants to be buried with it. He didn't know how to do it and bury himself out there. He got to thinking about it. The stuff means something to him. It's not for the money part of it. He's got money. It's his personal stuff of his, and I really think he does want to be buried with it.
And so, in your opinion, where is the Forrest Fenn treasure right now, at this very moment? Where is that treasure?
Sir, I wouldn't even try to speculate. I mean, I could guess and say at his house or in a safe deposit box or something like this. I wouldn't speculate on that right there because it don't have nothing to do with the appointment. I haven't researched it and everything for 6 years.
All right.
I put time in this, and that's the only reason. Anything with the poem, I'll answer anything about that part.
All right.
Because I do know it inside and out now.
Yeah. All right.
But
okay,
anything
Barry.
past that poem, I don't know.
All right,
yes,
Barry. We will continue this conversation in future. Thank you for taking my call this evening, and we look forward to calling you again.
You take care, Toby.
You too.
Hey, Toby.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing before I leave?
We're up to our 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 seconds.
One more thing. It won't take but 10 seconds. Everybody be careful. There has been another man that has died looking for this treasure. Y'all please be careful.
All right.
Toby, you take care.
Thank
care,
you.
Man.
You stay healthy, all right? Bye-bye. Roger from San Antonio, Texas says, good evening, Toby and Shelley. Will you please explain to both my daughters, Vanessa, 10, and Valerie, 9, how important it is to read the book and read the poem to find the treasure. They have had it with both and just want to go out and hunt. But they love your show. Apparently, there can't be that many warm waters. So, Shelley Carney, would you please explain to Valerie and Vanessa why it's important, why Forrest Fenn has said it's important to read the book and understand the poem?
Forrest Fenn told us there are many, many places in the Rocky Mountains where warm waters halt. And to look at the big picture. And he also told us the best way to solve the clues in the poem was to read the book and read the poem over and over and over again, and then read the book some more until you can maybe find some hints or some things that stick out in the text of the book to help you understand the clues in the poem. And he also said, begin at where warm waters halt is the first clue. If you don't know where that is, you might as well stay home and play canasta. So you girls might want to learn how to play canasta if you're not going to read the book or the poem.
In addition to that, Vanessa and Valerie, Forrest has also told us that the person who finds the treasure will have gone there to that treasure with the confidence. And I'm going to add to that, the confidence is knowing what each one of the clues in the poem represents on the surface of the planet. So where warm waters halt could be a hot springs, but you have to know where precisely that hot springs is. I'm not suggesting that it's that, but you have to know where the canyon down is. You have to have a good sense of how far too far to walk is, where the put-in below the Homer Brown is. You have to have at least imagined that before you head boots on the ground to actually see if what you imagined actually exists on the surface of the planet. So the best thing that you can do, as Shelley has suggested, is understand the poem and the book before you head out boots on the ground. Because what you're going to find out for your first boots on the ground is, number one, the problem is much bigger than you imagined. It's a huge problem. And number two, your first solve, your first theory is going to be wrong. That's just the way it is. But it's important to have refined your theory as much as possible before you invest the time, the money, and the effort of going boots on the ground. And if you're ever uncertain about your theory or uncertain about your thinking, call us. And we'll be happy to give you as much information as we can from our perspective. And there's folks in the chat room that will tell you what they think as well. All right? Your dad is right. Study the book. Study the poem.
You're going to hear that sometimes.
From dads.
Your dad is right. Dad's going to go,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Your dad is right.
Right.
I used to really enjoy that when somebody would say that about me after me advising one of my daughters. So,
and it takes until they're about 25 before they figure out that indeed
Dad was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vanessa and Valerie, I have 4 daughters. I have 6 children, 4 of whom are daughters. The daughters are, the youngest now is 31. Did she just turn 31? Let's see.
Yeah.
Just turned 31. The oldest just turned, oh God, let's see.
We don't need to say out loud.
Okay. She's
older than 31.
But I love my daughters, and I would do anything for them. And I assure you that if they had any interest in this treasure hunt, I would advise them to make sure that they knew kind of what they were looking for before they went boots on the ground. So I think that's all the advice.
Otherwise, you're just going to come home very disappointed.
Right. And you're going to have wasted time, money, and effort that you really feel like, gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. Plus, we want you to be safe during this period right now because there's some additional obstacles that have to be overcome in the form of this virus, which will leave us soon because they always do. You just have to be careful with that because the last thing we want for you is to get sick because this isn't a good time to get sick. All right? So enjoy the hunt. We're glad you're in it, and we're glad you're spending time with your dad figuring this out. I think that's really neat, personally. Okay, phone lines are open, 202-815-1171. We have about a half hour to take calls, maybe go a little bit beyond that because we did start about 10 minutes late, so maybe we'll go till 10 after 9.
We started 10 minutes late? Oh, yeah. Because I had to reboot?
Yeah, well, that wasn't, I don't want to make it your fault. That wasn't your fault. That's technology. No. But the right thing to do was to reboot.
Never my fault.
No, never, ever.
I was doing the right thing.
You were doing the right thing at the right time.
Quarantining my computer.
Toby, why does Budweiser, is Budweiser in the room saying that they found the treasure?
Yeah.
So 307, I'm not sure. So 307, just let me know who you are. Send me your first name and where you're calling from. Having people say that they found the treasure is not unusual for this treasure hunt. We've heard it hundreds, if not thousands of times before. We will continue to hear it until somebody actually produces the treasure.
It's like somebody who is a leader doesn't need to announce that they're the leader. You just know they are.
So the best thing you can do, we call them roosters. We call them roosters for a reason. They behave like roosters. But we've never actually had anybody come to us and say, I found the treasure and I have evidence proving that I found the treasure. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley on a Gypsy's Kiss. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's the nature of your observation? Hello? Did we lose you? Hello?
Did you do something wrong?
No. Why are you blaming it on me?
I just asked.
Oh, okay. Shall we call John?
Michael Flanagan says, do you believe punctuation plays a role in the solve, i.e. the lone semicolon in the poem?
Oh, don't even get me started on the lone semicolon. I do not. Is that Michael that said that?
Michael Flanagan, yeah.
Michael Flanagan, I do not personally believe that there is anything to do with the punctuation in the poem, including the somewhat obvious semicolon, but there are people that do. And their theory is as good as mine, if not better. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's the observation on the search?
This is Michael Wimmer calling from Rainy, Ohio.
Hey, Michael. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oops, we lost you. Michael? Michael, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
You're going in and out. So, but just, we lost him. No, we didn't. Are you still there?
Sorry about that.
No. Don't worry about it.
Here.
Just do the best you can.
Hey, without getting into ciphers or anything, do you have any idea why there's so many similarities to Edgar Allan Poe's treasure to Forrest Fenn?
I'm sorry. I missed about half of that. I heard the ciphers part and the Edgar Allan Poe part, but I didn't get enough to understand what connection you're trying to make.
Without the ciphers.
Yeah. Michael, do me a favor. Just find, I'm picking up about a third of what you're saying. So
all right, I'll call.
Yeah, try
call
moving
back.
around, call back. Okay?
All right.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley at Gypsy's Kiss. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's the nature of your observation? Hello? Ooh, must be.
You having phone issues there?
No, I'm connecting on my side. Nope. All right. So let me.
What is going on?
I don't know. We're having a good time over here.
All kinds of beeping.
There's a beeping. Oh, the beeper.
Yes, que beep.
¿Qué quiere decir el beep? ¿Qué quiere decir con el beep? I know. You know what? I can make her laugh with that statement.
Any time of day, any day.
that
You
cute?
can just say that and I laugh every time. Every time.
Okay, I'm going to call John Wayne Bobbitt back because he called to us.
Also, when you do the gardener.
The what? Oh,
Mexican
Juan.
gardener.
The Juan Jose, the Mexican. El jardinero del Juan Jose. Sí, señora, I can fix it for you. John Wayne, where, dang nabbit, where did he go? John Wayne, hold on. I'm going to call him back. I am going to. There he is. There we go. All right. Now we're calling out. We're calling Duke Count.
Christy says, Forrest said punctuation does not matter to us all.
That's a nice way to say it, not to us all. John Wayne, it's Toby and Shelley. What are you doing, brother?
Hey, Toby Younis.
Yeah, that's me. What are you doing? So we're going from Colorado to Wyoming?
Well, been driving a tractor trailer all over the country for several months, 8 months. So I've been in all 4 states pretty much looking around. So.
Yeah.
You want to see something to Barry? Barry's long-winded about him having a solution to treasure chest and all that, but the treasure chest is still where Forrest hid it.
Yes. Yeah, we agree with that. The treasure
Okay,
remains
yeah.
exactly.
I'm not trying to be a rooster or anything, but if I figured out the correct location, as I do, I mean, there's reasons why I can't go if I assume I know where it is, right? And if
See,
I do,
I like that position better. You said,
yeah, because you
assume.
work hard on a solution. You said, well, this looks good.
Yeah, but
this,
you
this,
said,
this like
I
the exact
assume.
location that he would hit it. Yeah.
You said, I assume I know where it is. Right? You're not claiming you know precisely where that treasure is. Is that correct?
Right. But to say, maybe in a couple weeks, well, and the treasure hunt is supposed to be on hold till June 1st, but I don't know, getting kind of anxious. I figured out a solution and want to go there, but for several reasons I can't. And it's frustrating because I want to go see if it's there.
Tell me the reasons you can't. Why you think the reasons you can't?
Coronavirus, snow. And just those are two main reasons, really.
Yeah. So.
What can you just go to Bernalino, show you my solve, and then you and Shelley can sign a NDA, and then draw up an agreement, and then if it is the right solve, if you look at it, then I'll go get it.
Well, so wait a minute. Let me make sure I understand.
Where go to your house?
Right, I'm in Bernalillo.
Bernalillo, yeah.
And you're suggesting you're going to come down here, share
just
your
show you what I got.
To share your theory with Shelley and I after we sign an NDA.
Right.
And then so you shared with us, and then what do you want to happen?
Then, if we're all convinced that maybe they're the correct solve, then maybe, then go get it.
You mean the three of us go get it?
Go get the treasure chest.
So tell me the precise location with
I have like a grid coordinates.
No, just the GPS coordinates for where warm waters for the first clue. Where warm waters halt.
That's why I wanted to get up to Wyoming, because I wanted to beat Chris and Chris Thor and Mike.
Yeah.
They're just, it's 2-on-1, and I was with these guys down here in Vegas, and we did this treasure hunting game at the casino where we had to solve all of these clues, and they were pretty quick. So, that's their search area is Wyoming.
Yeah. So when is the next time in all your travels you're going to be through my hometown of Bernalillo, New Mexico?
Well, I don't know. I kind of check the webcams up there all the time. Kind of like, see how the snow is and the weather. So, but you got all this travel bans and all that stuff too. Yeah.
Did you see that that image that I showed earlier about where you can and cannot go in which of the treasure states?
Oh no, I didn't see it.
Hang on just a sec. I'm not gonna share with anybody, but I'll look for you what they say about Wyoming. So what they say about Wyoming is.
How you doing, Shelley?
I'm super. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
You're looking lovely.
Thank you.
Isn't she?
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah, she's a lot better when it's a lot better.
Show, man, the princess.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling about it too. I don't know why I'm even here. You
answer the phone.
To answer the phone. So Wyoming peak resource use will be April 29th, so the end of this month, and they fall off the curve with a V on. Let's see. 0, 0, 0, 0. They fall off the curve on June 2nd. So June 1st ought to be about the right time for you to head out, brother.
June 1st.
June 1st. Can you wait that long? By that time,
a month and a half.
Yeah, by that time
6
the snow will be gone.
Well, As long as K-Pro don't have it up there.
No, K-Pro's, she loves North Carolina. She's going to need a real good reason to leave North Carolina, fight off the coronavirus, and go all the way to Wyoming. You know, I think
the landlord raises the rent, and she wants to move to Vegas.
We are not sharing personal information here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we don't do that. That was, I suppose, that was something between you and K-Pro, and it should stay that way.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, here's what I look forward to. I look forward to you passing through my hometown of Bernalillo, New Mexico, and sharing your theory with us, so that if we feel it's good, we'll chase up there to Wyoming town and find the treasure, recover the treasure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been working on it for a while now.
Yeah.
Since mid-January 2014.
Wait a minute. Were you not just looking in Colorado a month and a half ago? What do you mean you've been working on this since 2014?
Yeah, well, armchair, you know.
Oh, armchair, I see. So
armchair, Then about 2016, I got involved in boots on the ground, and
yeah.
You know,
so
back and forth.
What happened to Colorado?
Well, I mean, I you know, just back and forth, you know. Like I said, I was driving around, and you know, that's why I drove a truck for the past 7 months, is to get around and look at all the states.
Yeah.
Different areas.
And so
I thought maybe it would be a solution.
Yeah. So tell me what it was about Wyoming that caused you to change your mind about Colorado. What did you see in Wyoming that you said to yourself, "Oh, it has to be here"?
Well, a lot of different things that Forrest said, and you know, clues in the book.
Yeah.
You know, and different things that I you know I put together, and like I said, I had to you know, go back to the drawing board. Remember when I was on your show last time with the coin?
Yeah,
I do. Well, you know, it wasn't there. You know, I go back to the drawing board.
Right.
So you know, and that's what I've been doing. You know, looking around and.
So I'm going to go back to the question that I asked. What did you see in Wyoming? What was it about the geography or the topography or the lay of the land in Wyoming that caused you to say this treasure is here?
Mountain lakes.
Mountain
up high,
yeah.
where warm waters would halt, and then you take it to the canyon down from there.
Yeah.
And you know.
Well, Colorado has. I'm willing to bet Colorado has a lot more mountain lakes than Wyoming, don't they? I mean, you were checking out the mountain lakes in Colorado, weren't you? Oops, we lost him. But okay, that was just getting to the best part of the conversation.
Well, 10 months must have been up.
No, it wasn't even close. We had another 4 minutes to go here. So Michael Wimmer asked me to call him back. Let's try calling him back and see what he has to say. Hello.
Hello?
Hi, it's Toby Younis and Shelley Carney of A Gypsy Kiss. You were calling?
Oh, yes, yeah. I was calling about something I had seen on the Daily Mail. They were saying that in Gunnison, Colorado, tourists are not allowed there. If you don't live there, you are not allowed to be there. And the article was in the Daily Mail. It was, I think, yesterday or the day before, and it said tourists are told to stay away or risk facing a $5,000 fine or 18 months in jail.
Wow.
They're asking tourists not to come and visit until the pandemic is over, and that's because they have very limited medical facilities, like they don't have an ICU and they only have one ventilator, and they say because of the altitude, if you have trouble breathing and you're not used to it, the altitude will make you worse.
Yeah.
So it's just something that maybe people should be aware of, that maybe more counties will do this throughout the West, and then if they wander into that county, they could get arrested and get a big fine. I think it was $5,000 or 18 months in jail, which, I mean, that seems awfully ridiculous.
Well, if you're probably right, and but on the other hand, it's a good reason to avoid going in or about Gunnison, Colorado, if that's what they feel it takes to protect themselves. Now, to me, it sounds a bit dystopian, maybe a little post-apocalyptic, but I read an article this morning about the number of rural communities who have limited emergency services. Most of them do not have ventilators. So they're not the only ones that are probably experiencing the virus from the perspective of a small town with limited resources, and perhaps in a place like Gunnison, which is a highly trafficked tourist town. That I can't say that I disagree with them. I think the benefit to all of this is that you're not going to find the treasure in Gunnison, Colorado. There are plenty of places you can go in Colorado if you think that it's there. But you didn't say your name.
Kathy.
Kathy, and where are you calling from?
Yeah. Illinois.
Kathy from Illinois. Thank you. And as a matter of fact, your state, there were several towns in your state that were mentioned as those rural towns that have limited emergency services, including a limited number of ICU beds and ventilators. And they hadn't gotten as dramatic as Gunnison, but they were saying, we have no idea what we're going to do just to handle the patients that we expect locally, right? So it's probably a wise move on their choice. So
yeah. Also, I had read that the forests are all closed still. I guess I don't know if that's because of the virus or it would have been closed anyway.
So
because it's early April, they don't open, I think, until May. But let me see. I had written something down. There was a comment. Our forestry officers started handing out tickets to hikers over the weekend, ranging anywhere from $240 to $1,900. Campers are getting stiffer fines. All our national parks and forests are closed to the public. So I guess it's all over. I mean, maybe everybody would have to wait until the summer and not take the chance of going out.
Well, that's interesting. I hadn't heard about the national forests. I had heard about the national parks because they published, they released the information, I think, about 2 weeks ago. I'm really surprised to hear that the national forests are closed as well, and they're ticketing hikers and campers. That means they're taking this very seriously. Although one would have to wonder how a hiker is going to catch the coronavirus up there unless they left with it. But the fines are an interesting new addition to that because I know there are reasons to fine you in a national forest and a national park. I've just never heard this one before. So
yeah.
And it's this too, as Shelley reminds me often, this too shall pass. And we just have to be patient through this period, not get ourselves sick, and if we do get sick, not get anyone around us sick. So it's probably a wise thing to do. Colorado, who lives in Colorado, says it's true, and there are other towns in Colorado that are doing the same. And I guess I'm not surprised because Colorado is, a big tourist state. And it attracts tourists from all over the United States and the world as well. But so I guess it's wise on their part to do it, especially, the logic of if it was, we just want to protect our town. I don't think that's the logic. I think the logic is they have limited emergency services resources. So they're probably just doing the thing that's best for them. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That's why towns are incorporated. So, all right, Kathy. Well, thank you for calling in and providing that
Okay.
information for us. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you know, I have one question. Can you have Forrest on your show and maybe interview him, or maybe do an interview with him? Maybe you or Shelley can do an interview with him and then put it up on your show.
Yeah. I'm going to give you the shortest answer, and that is no. I could give you a much longer answer because there's a bunch of reasons why that would never happen on my show. But I don't think, I think it would take a lot at this point to convince him to do that for a live stream. Now, he has been interviewed as recently as last November by Christy. And they did ask him some questions, and she's publishing those, as well as she's planning to put out a documentary related to that. But he's not amenable to this new age live streaming technology. That's one reason. And secondly, he doesn't
want to be any of the YouTube shows.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on a YouTube channel, I think is what it is. I think least of all a Gypsy's Kiss. So we have what I would refer to as a tenuous relationship. So it wouldn't be. Honestly, I would love to do that, but I don't think it'll happen.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay.
But thank you for the idea. I think it's a great idea. If you ever write to him, tell him to contact me, and I'll be happy to have him on my live stream.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. You have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
I just wanted to interject that Gunnison has a history of closing down the town during plagues. They did this during the Spanish flu. They shut down the railroad. They shut down their entire town, and nobody died from the Spanish flu in Gunnison, Colorado. So they have a history of this.
And they do it with conviction, bless their hearts.
And they're not wrong.
That was who I thought was going to be Michael Wimmer, but apparently wasn't. So, wasn't she soft-spoken? Didn't you just love that voice? Okay, I'm going to have to call Michael Wimmer back the hard way. Oops, can't say that. Mm-hmm.
You're going to say people's phone numbers?
Yeah, almost did. Thank you.
Just have to ask him, what's the first number?
Okay, here we go. Let's see if he's in a better spot for the conversation here. What is going on with the Kiwis Road? Hello? Oh, no. Michael, it's Toby and Shelley on a Gypsy Kiss. I was trying to call you back, hoping that we have a better signal. It doesn't sound like we do.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's save it for next week. There's always next week. The satellites will be
Friday
in the proper. I'm sorry, Friday. And maybe our signal will be just a little bit better. It was the last time.
Okay, great.
It was the last time we talked, right? We had a great signal last time.
Yeah. My other number is goes straight to voicemail.
Oh, okay. All right. Okie doke.
I've got to unhook it. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. No, that was not the hand grenade guy. Let's see. LR says, I think Forrest Fenn would be a pushover for a magical treasure princess. She could ask him a question. I think he would too, because you know what? Forrest Fenn likes the ladies.
It's only one question I'd have.
Where's the treasure? Dang nabbit.
Right there.
Right there.
That'd be it.
That would
one
be
question.
The question.
I finally get one question. That's my question.
Didn't we do a show on that once?
Where is the treasure?
What would be the one question? What would be the one question you'd ask? So, all right. Phone lines are open. I'll keep them open for another, let's say 7 minutes. If you want to make a call. If we don't get anything, the hand grenade guy does have a label, Flynn. Yeah. Well, a bunch of Irishmen in the room. We've got your Flynn. We've got your Michael. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley on a Gypsy's Kiss. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's the nature of your observation on the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt?
This is Stacy Harwood from Wyoming.
Stacy Harwood, why do I feel like I know your name? Have we talked before?
Yes, we talked back in October.
Okay. I just feel
and then I talked to you about winter time when it was almost time for the shutdown for the Forest Fenn thing.
Oh, okay. All right. So what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I was just going to let you know Wyoming's pretty much the Cody, Wyoming, and Jackson Hole, and pretty much your college towns are the ones that have the most viruses.
Yeah.
In the state of Wyoming, along with Casper, the bigger portions of Wyoming. So if you're coming here, you're probably looking around June.
Yeah, I think that's what the data indicated, that it was after June 1st before you even got to 0 point. But what about the areas where the treasure? I don't feel like and correct me if I'm wrong. Would you look for the treasure around Cody, Wyoming, knowing what you know about Wyoming?
Cody to Yellowstone, yes.
Oh, okay, but certainly not east of Cody. After that, it gets kind of hinky, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe up into Sunlight Basin and around that area.
Right.
And Cody and all that. But anything else from there, pretty much, it's pretty much all desert.
Yeah.
And sagebrush.
Yeah, it's a high desert. We've been in that area. We spent a couple of nights in Thermopolis, and then we drove through Kerwin, and then we drove through Meeteetse, and it was finally at Cody where you started feeling like you were in the mountains. Up until that point, you felt like you were in New Mexico, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty much right where you looked over by Lander and around that area, that's right where they got the most virus right now.
Oh, great. Well, I'm glad I'm not there this year.
Because it's pretty much in the old folks' home that's over in Lander is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, you can look at the numbers in Wyoming, and you're in the lowest. You're number 50 of all the states that have the virus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, see, I live down here in Evanston, and pretty much I'm closer to Salt Lake City and all that. And so far, I don't know how much they got in Utah. So
yeah.
Other than them coming up and getting their toilet paper from us. So.
Well, hang on. I have yet to figure out that whole toilet paper thing. That was just to me. I've heard of preppers. I don't think preppers even collect that much toilet paper, for gosh sakes. Hang on a sec. Let me take a look at Utah for you. See what it says. Yeah, that when I started seeing the news about the run on toilet paper, I'm thinking to myself, what the toilet paper?
Well, see, they're running over here to Evanston to get all their groceries and all that because they pretty much wiped out Utah. So
yeah.
They're running over to Wyoming to get it.
Oh, yeah. Utah looks like Wyoming. So the peak in Utah is going to be April 29th, and it is nowhere near its bed capacity. So it's way under. And it's going to zero out. Let's see when it zeroes out. So it'll zero out by June 3rd. In Utah.
But yeah, my warm water halt starts pretty much from Yellowstone and runs down into Cody is where my warm water's halt.
Oh, wait a minute. So where in Yellowstone do you start? So are you traveling east from Yellowstone? Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you come from Cody, you have to go into the East Gate. So coming from the East Gate downwards is pretty much my kind of search zone.
Oh, I see. All right.
And then my other solve that I was kind of figuring on was over in Sunlight, but that one pretty much over there around the Sunlight area, you get back into the forest, and I'm talking that's pretty much outfitters area.
Yeah. Well,
if you're not an elk hunter and you don't know what you're doing up in there, you can get yourself into a bind.
You mean animal-wise or weather-wise? I mean, it's rough country, right? That area is
it's rough country.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just because there's animals there. It's just, generally speaking, rough country.
Yep. And see, pretty much on the North Fork, you're looking at trout fishing. You're looking at rainbows to brown trout to white trout. If you go over into Sunlight, you're looking at what do they call them? I want to call them spring trout, which are the little babies.
Right,
I'm trying to remember the name of it. But
grayling, brook trout.
Yep.
Cutthroat.
And then you go down on the Clark's Fork, you're looking at rainbows
Yeah.
and back down to brown trout.
Yeah, yeah. So we went fishing. We went fishing for cutthroat and grayling when we were inlander. We were above the canyon and into those lakes above the canyon, and did some cutthroat and grayling trout fishing up there. So.
Yep, that in the Green River.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that's pretty much what we all have down here is cutthroat trout.
Yeah. All right, sir. Well, thank you for the info. We appreciate it, and stay safe.
You guys have a safe and wonderful day and a productive day.
Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Well, I agree with Sakar.
What does Sakar say?
Toilet paper got bought up because everybody's got to stay home now. They're not going to their office. They're not going to their school where they would use the bathroom all day long. And then they don't, so they need twice as much toilet paper at home now.
Twice as much is one thing, but they were buying it out to zero stockage. I mean, it just got ridiculous. Like, okay, I could understand there's going to be a lot of people home, but I was watching people walk out of the Walmart with
Flight, and Hoard.
Well,
engaged when the lizard brain took
actually over. If you're going to hoard alcohol, hand sanitizer, masks, and gloves, don't do it now because it's too late.
They are.
That's what you should.
But also toilet paper.
But if you're going to prepare, Christy wants me to call her. She says she wants to. She's got a counterpoint for John Bobbitt. So let's see what Christy has to say.
What did John Bobbitt say that she?
Something about he kept saying he wants to beat Christy up to Wyoming. So he kept using her as an example of the competition.
Hello.
Hi. So John Bobbitt says you're his biggest competition. What's that about?
Well, I guess this is the risk when you sit and chit chat with someone about your new soul, and now he's switching states. Okay, well, I've learned my lesson. But here's what I want to say.
So apparently, you didn't have him sign a non-disclosure agreement.
No, I did not, and I was just like throwing out here's some cool stuff that I found. And
yeah.
It's not finalized by any means.
Right.
So it was, sure, it makes it interesting. But here's the thing: I want to throw it out there. He will not beat me, or he will definitely beat me there. I do not want him going next week. So I'm giving him, and I will sign something that says this. I'm not going until July 1st at the earliest. So he has plenty of time. I was his safety check-in on his last boots on the ground a few weeks ago. And I tell him, stop it. Stop going out. This is important to me for him to be safe.
Yeah.
So I will tell him. I think he has the beginnings of a good solve because if it's what we talked about, that's fine. But I'm not going out till July, so he can, and he will still beat me and Mike and anybody else that's in my area before. Yeah, so that's what I say to him. And so now he can just sit back and relax. I just need to go out. And so I know he's all worried. I'm not going anywhere. This coronavirus is reason enough for me. I have to go 27 states to get there. So
anyway. What I thought was interesting about the whole thing was I've been following his travels into Colorado now or he's been sharing his travels into Colorado now for at least 2 seasons, right? And suddenly calls up and he says, I'm going to Wyoming. My first reaction is, what the hell happened?
Well, I also think he does a little bit of misguiding because it was a few months ago that he told me he was heading up to, it was either Montana or Wyoming.
Yeah.
And then when he got there, I'm like, you need to give me the coordinates because if you don't show up or you have to check in with me by 4.
Right.
And he was in Colorado. I personally, he might be going to Wyoming, but he's going to be going through Colorado. And I guarantee he's not letting go of his spot anytime soon. But he might have a second spot he's thinking about.
He had that Colorado thing locked down, and the only thing that's prevented him from getting there this year is the amount of snow. Well, that's cute. I love your counter story. That's really cute.
Yeah, so he can have some fun, and hey, I'll share with everybody and let everybody
go up there. Yeah.
Two can keep a secret.
Well,
there is some other stuff. I'm like, John, 2 can keep a secret, buddy. Shh.
Well, not only that, he's sharing the license plate on your van. He can go. I think the next time you have a conversation with John Wayne Bobbitt, you want to get that NDA sound out front, because that's what he said to me, right? I'll come and visit you in Bernalillo, tell you where I know the treasure is, but you're going to have to sign an NDA. Now I'll be able to say, well, it doesn't make any difference anyway, because Christy already told me her theory. So.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah, it should be fun. Maybe I'll have him sign an NDA.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I've already messaged him tonight. Like, what, man?
Yeah.
Come on. You can keep a secret.
Nice.
What are you doing going on
Am I going to have to shoot you or what?
220 people sitting in chat. Come on, buddy. What are we doing here? Anyway, well, there's my counter to him. He can stay safe. I'm not heading out at least until July. And that, I mean, God knows if that'll even happen. But
yeah.
I have absolutely no plans before July.
I'm starting to feel better about the July timeframe, late June, mid to late June, even in New Mexico. We still got a long way to go in this thing, and there's going to be a lot of damage done, but I'm hoping that by then we'll feel a little bit better about moving on with whatever the rest of our normal is going to be. So,
well, and I said it in chat. I know you didn't catch it, but you were right about North Carolina. I just got the update from the courts now are shut down another month until June 1st.
Yeah.
You called that like a week ago. You said this is where the peak's going to be, et cetera. They must be looking at the same data. So
right.
2 months, we are looking at 8 weeks of entire court systems are shut down. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Both in good and bad associated with that. It gives you time to prepare with your attorney and gives the other guy time to prepare with the attorney. So
yeah, I just feel bad they're doing all the tickets and stuff now via distance, but I'm just looking at somebody that actually has they are doing emergency hearings and things that are life-threatening.
Yeah.
This is where it's like it's an inconvenience, a big inconvenience in my life, but it's nowhere near, somebody that has their life at risk. Or we got to all put it in perspective, and that's, you guys will see something. If Toby, you'll check your email, we're going to do some for the search community about all of that. So.
Okay. All right. I'll take a look at it after the show.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye, Shelley. Bye, Toby.
Okay. I think we can call it a night. Somebody asked earlier if I would play the She Played Memories song that I wrote. The problem is it's about 4.5 minutes long. So if we do a Saturday, the next time we do Church of the Search on a Saturday night, we'll do that. I think we're going to go ahead with A River Runs Through It on Monday night, so join us there. Join us on Friday night for Friday Fandango. We'll be back for then. So. And
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight to hang out with us and chit-chat about force pen and toilet paper and what have you. I am the Magical Treasure Princess, life coach to the rich and famous, and friend of Toby and Jamal.
Friend of Toby. You are not my friend. You're my best friend.
Yeah.
Best friend. And I am Toby Younis, Administrative Assistant to the Magical Treasure Princess and her Chief of Security. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Great things happening tonight. We hope by next week, send us some emails so we can read some emails, not next week, but on Friday. You'll see us again on Friday night at 7 p.m. If you'd like to join us on Sales Leaders Institute at 6 p.m., you're welcome to do that. And then we'll decide what we're going to do on Saturday, if we're going to do a movie or a Church of the Search. Actually, here's what I will do. In the comments, once this video is posted, in the comments section below, which also qualifies you for next week's Wednesday giveaway, make a note of, given Saturday, would you rather do A River Runs Through It movie night or Church of the Search? And we'll let you guys vote on that, okay? Only one vote counts. Ooh, I ran out of music. Sarah Rocks. Thank you, Sarah Rocks. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Here's my outro.